Okay, today we're going to finish reading Act 4 and start Act 5. But before we do so, because it has been a couple of days since we read, a couple days, we shall discuss what was happening.
Refresh.
So if we go way back to the beginning of the refresher, we know that Macbeth is what at the beginning of the story?
A hero.
A hero. Perfect description. A war hero, even more specifically. And then on the way home from battle, what happens?
He gets pinged.
The witches make 3 predictions that he will become Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and eventually king. And his friend Banquo also receives 3 predictions. Not so happy, but happier, not as
lesser but greater,
and
your children.
You won't be king, but your children will be. Okay, so fast forward, Macbeth gets the 2 thanedoms. But anyway, and then he and his wife
planned
a devious murder. Macbeth becomes
king.
What happens to the 2 heirs to the throne?
They run off.
One to
England.
Ireland, one to England. Who's in England?
Sure.
Malcolm, the older son. Okay, fast forward a little bit further. Who else dies? Banquo, and then who else dies?
The son of what's her bucket?
Oh yeah.
Macduff's wife.
Macduff's wife and son. And so where we left off, Macbeth had heard the apparition speak. We need to go back to page 125 to see the apparitions. Just as a reminder, I guess probably we're going to finish Act 4 today, which means tomorrow will be what?
Checking day.
Wednesday.
If we finish reading today, tomorrow we're going to
Check the study guide.
and
Oh my god.
have a quiz. Yeah, so let's refresh our memories about what is happening. Okay, when Act
forget something in Arizona?
When Act 4 starts, Macbeth is going to see the witches. Remember, they were making that brew where they ran around and they put in blood from a chimpanzee and teeth and snake scales and all that weird, like, witchy stuff. Okay, and then the pot puffs up these magic things. The first one
A bloody child.
is, before that,
An armed head.
the helmeted head. And that one is making what warning?
Like this.
Beware
Oh, I can't.
of Macduff.
Okay. Like, I already knew that.
Yeah, I was already going to kill him, no big deal. Then the next apparition pops up out of the cauldron, and it is a bloody child with what warning? No man born of woman can harm you. And so then Macbeth feels even more relief because
I already knew that. He's like, well, that's
every man is born of woman. So I have nothing to worry. And then the third apparition pops up, which is a crown child holding a tree branch. And this apparition says,
When the forest comes,
you will be king until
the woods arrive at your doorstep.
What's the name of the woods? Burnham Wood.
Keep
Come to the castle. And so Macbeth feels even
more relief because that's going to be a long time.
more relief. That's going to be forever. But the last one is a little troubling. What's the last image?
A mirror. A bunch of kings holding 8 kings on it.
Yeah.
A line of kings with the last one holding a mirror, suggesting the line will go on forever. And who is at the beginning or the end? Banquo.
Nice.
So the last like troubling message is that Macbeth has gone to all this trouble for nothing, because when he dies, his legacy will die with him. Okay, so that is Act 4, Scene 1. Scene 2, Lady Macduff and her child are murdered. Act 4, Act 4, Scene 3, which is where we left off. Malcolm and Macduff are talking. Where are they?
Scotland.
England. They're Scottish already. They're in England. Why has Macduff gone to England?
To flee.
Kind of. Okay, well, let's go back. Why did Malcolm go?
To get help.
To get help. Why did Macduff go?
To get Malcolm?
Yeah.
To get him. Wasn't he seeking like help or
To
something?
tell him that we need the help. Yeah, yesterday. Already. Things in England are bad. Okay, so then where we stopped, Malcolm was explaining his what?
What page are you on?
So where we left, Malcolm and Macduff were having this conversation, and Macduff said, dude, you gotta come back. We need you to get rid of Macbeth and become the rightful king. And Malcolm says, well, I would, but if I do, this is what you're gonna get. And what he was explaining it starts with a V. Vices, yes. Okay, what was his first vice? This was gonna be on 143. Lust. That all the women in Scotland could not satisfy his lust. And how does Macduff try to get over that? He says, it'll be okay. You're the king. There'll be all kinds of women lined up to take care of your desires. And then Malcolm says, well, maybe, but I also have... So this is on 145 now. Greed. I am so greedy. So I'm on 145. He says, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house. And my more having would be a sauce to make me hunger more. That I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for their wealth. So, his first vice is he is lustful. His second one is that he is greedy. So greedy that he will take everything from the nobles in Scotland so that he has everything. And Macduff says, well, this is a little bit worse than the lust issue, but we have a lot of riches. I think we'll be okay. Alright, so now, and then Macduff ends that by saying, we can handle the lust and the greed. As long as you have, because you're a good guy. Besides the lust and the greed. And then Malcolm's about to say, I have none. None of the other things that a king needs to have. Okay? So.
So have we read this third one?
No. Not yet.
He's not human.
I believe all of these questions are on the study guide, right? What are his vices?
Yeah.
How does he deal with them? Is there a question that says, how does
What is
Macduff?
his character faults?
Okay.
Well, that is his character.
Yeah, vice,
no.
character faults.
Is he not human?
Said it.
He's human. I'll fight you.
He's human.
Bring it. I'm gonna prod you with
Then
one
who's gonna
stick.
kill him?
Okay.
Macbeth?
Yeah. He
I'll
is
be
such a
Malcolm.
tiger on
Wait,
it.
are the quotes gonna be due tomorrow then too, or?
No, because Act 4 and 5 are together. Nathan
Yes.
will be Macduff.
See you later.
Unless you'd rather be Malcolm.
It don't matter.
Look on
I'd
147.
say Macduff. I think he's got a shorter one.
That's where we're at.
Definitely shorter.
Then we'll need a
Oh,
Jeremy as the doctor.
oh, sweet, okay. Oh, no, I don't think yet.
Doctor.
And Madison is Ross.
Ian Yeller? Your guy.
You're a
Ross
boy.
Geller.
You're like Ross Geller, did I forgot?
Okay, line 107.
Okay.
But I have none.
Am I still welcome?
No, you're
Macduff,
Macduff.
Homer.
Very honest.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth. So what's his third vice?
Oh,
Doesn't have any trait that he would-
Okay, yeah, he has none of those traits, but what else would he do? So he would devour all the women, steal from the nobles, and finally, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
So he would divide all the unity and start wars and stuff.
Yep, he would go to war with
Everybody.
everybody. Okay, and Macduff responds,
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live, O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant, bloody scepter. When shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed.
Okay, so Macduff is having like a little pity party right now. Does he think Malcolm is fit to govern his country? No, not fit to govern, not even fit to live.
Oh, yeah.
He's worthy of death with the qualities that he possesses.
Leave.
This guy, while the guy that's in control right now is bad, Malcolm is
Tight.
worse.
Oh.
Okay,
Messing my dudes up.
now he's gonna talk about Duncan. Remember, what kind of king was Duncan?
A great.
Great.
Greatest, the quintessence of king. Perfect in every way. Okay, this is what Macduff is remembering about him.
Thy royal father was a most sainted king, the queen that bore thee oftener upon her knees than on her feet. Died every day she lived, fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself, hath banished me from Scotland. O my breast, thy hope ends here.
Okay, so thy royal father was the most sainted king. The queen was on her knees more than her feet, meaning she was in prayer.
JJ.
Yeah, I knew where it was going. And
It's up to Jay.
so if this is what's going to become of Scotland, Macduff is going to... What does it mean to be banished?
Cast out.
Cast out.
Cast
So
away.
Macduff will never return to Scotland. If it's gonna be Macbeth or Malcolm, Macduff doesn't even want to ever go back there. Okay. Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these traits, hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. Okay, let's decide what that means. What are scruples? Does it say in the side 135? Okay, it says This noble passion, child of integrity. So what does he think of Macduff? What does Malcolm think of Macduff?
He likes him.
Yeah, likes, go even a step further. What would be the thing that one guy can give to another guy? Respect. He respects him. Clearly, what does Macduff have? What is the most important thing to him?
Power.
No. Based on what Macduff just said in that speech, that he would never go back to Scotland, what does he want more than anything? What does Macduff want?
Honor.
Safe kingdom.
A safe kingdom. Is that what you said? What'd you say? He wants Scotland to be back like it used to be. Does he want power? Does he want to be in control?
No.
Does he want Malcolm to be king? Not if he's not
Perfect.
worthy. Yeah. He didn't come here to try and
Bring it back.
trick him or something. He came here seeking help for his country. Yes. His country is the most important thing. And then, so that's what Malcolm respects. So he says then, devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, like trains of thought, hath sought to win me into his power. So what has Macbeth been trying to do? Trick Malcolm by something like sending someone to try to get him back. And so Malcolm has to, modest wisdom plucks me from over credulous haste. Okay, so
Stops him.
Malcolm has to vet every person that comes to him from Scotland. What does it mean to vet someone? Anybody know? No? It's like
Tricking them to do something.
proving, testing their loyalty. A lot of jobs, especially like high security, like clearance kind of jobs, you'll hear the word vet. So it means you look into their background, you check them out, you make sure you know every skeleton that's in their closet and everything that could possibly go wrong or be brought up. Malcolm has to do that because otherwise he might jump to conclusions. Would he want to trust Macduff? Did Duncan trust Macduff? Yes. So Malcolm would want to, but he can't be sure of anything in these times. Okay, so now I'm on 139. Yeah? But God above deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself to thy direction and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. So everything he just said about himself was a lie. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have I coveted what was mine own, and at no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. So why did he tell all those lies?
Deceive.
Yeah, to see what his intents were.
Right, because if he would have said all of that, and Macduff was like, it's okay, come on home, he would have known
He was set up.
Yeah, he was being set up.
that he was being set up. So he did all of this to test Macduff's intentions, his loyalties. In fact, the first lie he ever told was what he just said to him. What I am truly is thine, and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Seaward, with 10,000 warlike men already at a point, was setting forth. So he's already been planning, and at this exact moment, Seaward, not Squidward, is already taking what? 10,000 men, soldiers. They're on their way to Scotland right now. Now will together.